For years, this has been my favorite best value motorcycle. It just became awesome. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm extremely excited to present with you the new Svartpilen 401. A couple of years ago, actually more than that, I think 3 or 4 years ago, I presented the Svartpilen 401 as being one of the best value for money motorcycles. And today I'm going to treat this subject once again because the new model unfortunately got very delayed in the United States because of being caught up in customs for some reason or the other. That's the rumor that we heard. But it's with us right now, and let's get on with it. I was extremely excited to go and have a look at it when it was being built at the place where I work at Crossroad Power Sports. And in 2025, where does the Svartpilen 401 stand? Let's have a quick look. It is a smaller engine, but it's a brand new engine. Let's have a look at the numbers. It's a brand new 398cc single cylinder, double overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder engine. Bigger cc, bigger bore engine, brand new. It does not give a significant jump in power. It is delivering 44 horsepower at 9,000 RPM and 34 Newton meters of torque, or 27 foot-pounds at 7,000 RPM. Dry weight is around 159 kilos or 350 pounds. Fuel tank capacity is about 13 liters or 3.43 US gallons, giving you a range of about 300 kilometers or 190 miles, depending on your riding style. It's a good enough fuel range. You can go for a full tank for a significant amount of distance. And since it's not a really big bike, I don't think you will be doing really long distances like 1,000 kilometers, though I have done it, and it is a lot of fun, and it is capable at highway speeds. As I've said before during the previous iteration of the same motorcycle, it's a small engine, it's a small capacity, but it's a remarkably responsive engine. You know, the throttle response is there right away. You open the throttle and the bike is ready to rev and go. This is a bigger engine, but what is funny, it is lighter than the previous iteration, which makes it even more responsive. What is great about the new iteration is the host of technological advancements that have been added onto this bike. First, let's talk about the looks. I find this bike is extremely good looking. It somehow combines design elements of a very vintage look with a round headlamp, which is LED, and it flows into a very modern urban commuter street fighter look. Looks are subjective, but I really like the way this Svartpilen 401 looks. It has changed a little bit, actually significantly compared to the previous iteration. There are a lot of changes, but this one I find it to be looking more muscular, more meaty, and gives that really masculine look about it. Now let's talk about the handling. The Svartpilen was designed primarily for commutes and to do some back roads and some off-road, which is why it comes equipped with off-road style handlebars and a skid plate and tires that can do some amount of off-road. Let me tell you this motorcycle handles amazingly well in most circumstances, and that is due to the fact that this bike has superb suspension and frame. Husqvarna abandoned the older frame, which was there in the older iteration, which was already really good, but for the new model, it's a completely new redesigned trellis frame that gives enough amount of rigidity and makes the bike a really good handling machine. The suspension is absolutely fabulous. It's the WP Apex suspension, which is owned by KTM, put onto the Husqvarna motorcycles. For those of you who are not aware, Husqvarna is owned by KTM. The WP Apex suspension is independent function. You have rebound on one side and you have compression on the other side, and you have clickers on the top that you can adjust on the fly. That's an incredible suspension, and it can be tuned in the way you ride, the kind of roads you're on, and your body weight. You do not need special tools to tune the suspension to your requirement. The rear suspension is also fully adjustable, rebound, compression, and preload. If you compare the previous Svartpilen with the newer one, you will see the position of the rear shock is very different. The way it is positioned onto the swing arm is very different, which is what makes the newer Svartpilen even better than the older iteration. Let's talk about the ergonomics and the riding style. Let me show you how I sit on the motorcycle. I'm 165 centimeters or 5 feet 6 inches tall, and I sit really comfortably on this bike. The ergonomics are absolutely fantastic. I'm really comfortable on this one, whereas on the older generation, I remember it used to be slightly high. I reached the ground comfortably on both sides. So it's significantly different from the previous Svartpilen. The swing arm is different as well. The frame is different. The suspension is different. And the result is a 15 millimeter lower seat height, which makes it easier for shorter riders to ride. It is an 820 millimeter or 32-inch seat height, but once you sit on it, you actually sit lower than you did before. It's difficult to describe how comfortable this bike is unless you actually have a seat on it. Let's talk about the braking. It is a single disc in the front, but let not that fool you. It's a 320mm single disc with radially mounted calipers giving you excellent feedback. Braking power is stellar. ABS is standard, and it also has supermoto style ABS. That is, if you want, you can actually switch off the ABS on the rear wheel and you can slide your rear wheel if you want to. The supermoto style ABS can be changed from the dash. The bike comes with a 6-speed gearbox that is mated to a slipper and assist clutch. That is the PASC clutch that KTM builds. And this comes with a bi-directional quick shifter. Yes, for this price, you're getting a bi-directional quick shifter. They call it the easy shift. So basically, once you start rolling, you do not have the requirement to use the clutch anymore. You can just shift up, down, whichever way you feel like according to the speeds and requirements. If you're really in traffic, you just bang down on the gear lever to bring down the gears and you'll be just fine. And to increase speed, and if you want to go like race kind acceleration, you keep the throttle pinned. You don't have to use the clutch and you keep going second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Let me show you a little bit about the dash, the amount of technology that is going into this bike. It is absolutely fabulous. Switchgear, they call it the cubes. And with the cubes, you can do a lot on the dash. It's a full 5-inch TFT dash wherein you get rider modes, street mode, rain mode. In the braking, you can shift between ABS and supermoto ABS. You can connect it to your phone and you have turn-by-turn instructions of the navigation that can be followed on the dashboard. You can answer incoming calls. You can toggle through your phone with the instrument cluster that you have, which I definitely do not recommend doing that, but it can be done. A very important feature that has to be mentioned, the Svartpilen 401 comes with an anti-theft device. Service intervals are longer. The air filter needs to be replaced every 10,000 kilometers, that's 6,000 miles, after an initial oil change at 1,000 kilometers or 600 miles. That's the first service. Take out your brake-in oil, put in oil, and then you go for 6,000 miles. That's written on Husqvarna's website. The Svartpilen retails at $5,899 plus taxes and fees. At the place where I work, Rossroad Powersports, they're actually giving a discount currently on available units, which makes it even more of an attractive offer for this motorcycle. For that price, honestly, this bike is a steal. What all you get for this price is absolutely amazing. You get a bi-directional quick shifter, you get independent function, fully adjustable suspension, front and rear. You get decent highway speeds, and you get all of this at a fantastic price. Would I recommend this bike? Absolutely. I have no hesitation to recommend this motorcycle to anybody, a beginner or even an experienced rider. Who is this bike for? Well, it can be for urban commuter. It can be for a suburban commuter. It can be for a rural commuter if you're in that kind of thing. It can be a very good beginner bike. Though I do say that the throttle response can be a little snatchy at the beginning, but it's not a learning curve that is very steep. You get used to it and then you start enjoying it. What am I missing here? I'm just praising this bike no end. The bike is absolutely amazing. It is amazing. It is amazing for that price, for a single cylinder, the kind of features that you're getting. It's absolutely amazing. I can think of one con of the motorcycle. Am I missing something?
How does it compare to other bikes around the same price?
Around the same price? You do not have any motorcycle for that price giving these features. Period. None. Around that price point, you have the Yamaha R3, very antiquated as of now. You have the CB300R. Okay, it exists. I'm nothing against the Honda CB300R nor the Yamaha R3. Great bikes, but what else is there? At that price, no, there is nothing. You have the Svartpilen 401, of which I'll be putting up a video shortly. Great bike again. there's only one con that I can think of, and that's the tank size. And 13 liters for me, or 3.4 US gallons, is just not enough for me. I would have liked to have a slightly bigger range than that, but since it's a smaller engine, and there aren't too many people who are crazy enough to do long distance riding on this, but there are a lot of crazy people who do crazy long distances with this kind of motorcycles. So yeah, I would have liked to have, let's say, a 15-liter tank, which would give you a range of maybe 350. That's how many miles? A little more than 200 miles, which is a good range for any motorcycle, actually. At this point, I would like to leave the discussion up to you guys. What do you guys think about Husqvarna motorcycles? Have you heard of Husqvarna motorcycles? Have you tried the Svartpilen 401? Do you want to have a look at it? Why don't you come to the store, to the dealership, have a look at it? Talk to me. I will show you the bike. It's amazing. Leave your comments in the comment section down below, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Until then, ride safe.